What was it that pulled you away, music-wise? Were you playing in a band? Because you had 2 children, right, by the time your first album came out?
Yeah, and so I was leading worship at a bunch of churches, and there was a professor that would go like lead little worship services at campuses all across the country, and I would go like lead a band, for that worship service, which then led us, like further into Nashville. We started in Mount Juliet and met this guy who was an up and coming producer. It's what he wanted to do. And so I was like, all right, let's just make a 5-song EP. I can save up enough money for this. If you help me, I'll help you. And that EP, it's not even anywhere anymore, thank the Lord. But it got me picked up by this indie music website that Sony Music gets their email, and the label called me, and 2 years later, I signed my first deal.
Wow, that's incredible. So here you are, 2 children in, still getting to pursue your dream. Everything really fell into place.
Yeah.
What's interesting, your very first single, I'm assuming it's your first single, When Mercy Found Me.
Yep.
You bring in a Grammy nomination. Are you thinking, okay, April, this is easy. We got this.
No, thank you, Jackie Marushka. That was the lady that I really think pushed that.
Jackie, publicist, a good friend of mine.
She I think single-handedly helped push that through. She got me in the right places and got the right people to hear the song. I was nowhere thinking that was going to happen. I was at the nomination announcement at Bridgestone and was not dressed for it. And I looked like a dweeb off the street. Like, who let this redneck in? And if you Google images, you can see, young Rhett just looking like a deer in his headlights.
One of the things that really struck me was not only who you are, right? Because you're singing faith-based music, but your kind of sound, your production. I mean, I've heard people say Southern rock. I've heard people say roots, country, bluegrass. I mean, it really kind of envelops all of that. Was that something that you kind of honed in on, or you just play music and the way it is the way it is?
It's always just kind of been the way it is the way it is. There's been many times that we put out a single and it's too country for Christian radio, and it's just like, well, that's the way the song was, on to the next one. Maybe it wasn't meant for that, Right. But I've honestly never written music so that radio would play it. I hope they do, and they have, which is thankfully why I still get to do this. But I really want my songs to be about life lived and lessons learned. Like When Mercy Found Me, I wrote that about me and April getting pregnant at 17. And that was when mercy found me. Like when I found that, that's when I found Jesus. That's when I decided to live the way I've decided to live. But I knew that's not everybody's story. Not everybody's had a teenage pregnancy. But I knew that everybody comes to that point in their life where it's like, man, without something's got to change, because this road's going downhill quick. And, I found Jesus. And so I knew maybe that song would resonate with people